Just a few years ago, the US was a travel destination for tourists all over the world. However, there has been a shift in this statistic, and this comes from the US not being as much, having as much of a global reputation, and the economy has suffered from this shift as well. This issue affects you because you could be a business owner that thrives off tourists coming to your business, or you could just be someone that enjoys the culture that international tourists bring. I spent countless hours of conducting research on good information to share with you on how the US is lacking tourism from international travelers, why this is occurring, and a solution to this problem. So first, let's talk about the issue itself. And tourism is declining because businesses and cultural exchanges and infrastructure and preserving land in the US has not been that great as of right now. And Yahoo.com states that this is partly because of President Trump's America's First standpoint. And this is discouraging travelers from all over the world. And even a person was supposed to travel to the US from Germany, and they decided to cancel their trip because of President Trump cutting budgets on the national parks in the US. So instead, they went to Canada and spent all of their money in Canada instead of in the United States. So Canadians as a whole have not been traveling to the US as much as before. There is usually 20.4 million visits per year, and they usually bring in $20.5 billion as well. And the U.S. Travel Association published a website in 2025 that claims that there's going to be a 10% decline in that statistic this year alone. New York suffers from this problem a lot as well. So now that we know the issue of this topic, let's dive into why this is happening. So trade disputes with Canada have been going on ever since President Trump took office, and the Times Union states that in an article published in 2025. There's also been enhanced border security and stricter immigration policies deterring visitors because they feel like they will be treated harshly when they come into the country, or be sent to a detention, or just not treated like a human being when they come into the US. The current political climate is also deterring travelers as well. The UK and Germany have stepped up their travel advisories to the United States as well, and The Guardian states that in an article published in 2025 as well. There's also good exchange rates to Canada right now, and a lot of European travelers would rather travel to Canada as of right now. And the Times of 2025 states that. So, is there a solution? And yes, there is. As citizens of the US, we can engage ourselves in our community better and support local tourism by promoting and participating in tourism initiatives and exploring local attractions and sharing positive experiences of traveling to the US and exploring everything the US has to offer as a tourist on social media. Another thing we can do is preserve destinations for the long term as well. So we can be more eco-friendly to the environment and make sure everything is kept clean and support eco-friendly businesses as a whole, basically. And bigger solutions to this problem that the government would mainly have to deal with is putting more funding into Brand USA, which is Brand USA is one of the biggest websites and brands for promoting tourism to the US. And Brand USA states that themselves on their website. So if the budget of Brand USA goes up, then we can market the US better as a tourism destination to the US. Another thing we can do is relax our policies at the border and make it easier and more friendly to travelers to want to come to the US and want to see everything that it has to offer with the vibrant cities and the landmarks and the natural parks and all the history that the US has. So infrastructure and policy innovations is that as a whole. And some might argue that tourism is not important to the economy and healthcare and education is more important. But tourism as a whole provides more jobs and also creates more tax revenue. So the U.S. economy gets boosted up as a whole, which is just as important as healthcare and education. So to conclude, the decline in U.S. tourism is here, and there are things that we can do to help it. Tourism is rising everywhere but the U.S., and this hurts the economy and the nation's global appeal. Visa issues and bad views on the U.S. are hurting the U.S., and weak marketing is holding the country back. Solutions to this is increasing the funding to Brand USA and relaxing the immigration laws and making it more traveler friendly to outsiders and international people to want to come to the U.S. and promoting U.S. travel online and preserving our landmarks and destinations for the long term. So when we do rebound, everything looks nice and all of our destinations flourish. So all of this can be achieved if we come together as a whole and the government comes together as a whole to want to have tourism back to the U.S. and create better opportunities for the economy to improve. And all of this is attainable with all of these strategies in place. Thank you.